Okay, get college scholarships, get the facts. We're just gonna go through the process. Why haven't somebody at this point in their season gotten a college scholarship? Number one, they weren't good enough. Number two, the colleges don't know who you are because you didn't go to the camps, you didn't go to the workshops, you weren't on at the combines, you didn't market yourself from your freshman, sophomore, junior year. So that's how you get identified. That's how ESPN and Rise and everybody identifies that top 150. If you're in that top 150, everybody's going to know who you are. You're going to get opportunities in terms of exposure. You're going to get nominated for things like the Walk-Out the World for Scholar Athletes. All that stuff happens. If you're not in that top 150 because either you're a beast at one of these camps and or you play for a big program. You play for a big program and you don't get properly marketed, they're not going to know who you are. So those are some of the basic reasons why people don't get scholarships in terms of the process. Plus, everybody thinks there's going to be a D1 prospect. Everybody is not a D1 prospect. I'm going to repeat that. Everybody's not a D1 prospect. There are 1.5 million kids playing high school football this year. There's only 112 D1 schools right now, FBS schools, the top tier groups. They can only give out 25 scholarships a year. They only have a maximum probably about 85 kids on scholarship at any one time. They have walk-ons, they have people that have partial scholarships, so there's only 2,000, 3,000 scholarships that are given away each year. There's only about 5,000 available. But then if you expand that to D1A, D2, D3, NAIA, that's when all the opportunity comes about for most of the kids, right? Because there's only a little bit of a small pool of opportunities here. Just like everybody says, I want to be in the NFL. Well, 1.5 million kids playing high school football, but 15 to 20,000, maybe 40,000 playing college football at all levels, including junior colleges. But then you got 325 people get drafted in the NFL each year. 325, 1.5 million, 50,000, 325. Numbers aren't good. And even if you get there, the average guy's going to play 3.5 years. It used to be a pension 4 years. I think pension might be 3 years now. So it's NFL, not for long. So you have to get the plan. And the fact of the matter is, you have to have that plan B, and that plan C, and that plan D. And the plan B is to make sure you get the education. And again, if you're not being recruited yet, there is significant opportunities. We had that workshop the showcase last week, the 45 kids there, most of them are going to get an opportunity because they'll be in this book where they'll get the opportunity to get exposed to colleges that they wouldn't normally be exposed to. I was looking at, there's another set of showcases in Atlanta, Georgia. They've been having for the past few years. They've been had tremendous success. So the model that we started out here in California this past weekend was going to probably grow and blow up. We're going to do the same thing in February. So after the All-Star game in January, but all the All-Star games are in January now, then we'll do an unsigned showcase in February where the kids actually have a chance to get that last hurrah of coaches and that are still looking for specific positions and those kinds of things. So if you haven't been signed as of yet or have an offer as of yet, that's because your brand. You are your brand, right? First impressions. Today I have my pig suit on, so I look nice, except, my wife said I need to do something. It's always something, but, right, I have my impression, right? When I'm out in the field, I have my proper attire to be in the field. Yesterday I was at a school, I'm not going to mention the name, and there was a college scout there, and he was talking to a group of kids. This is a school that doesn't provide direct scholarships, but they do help you get the financial aid. It's a $47,000 a year school, and they'll help you get the financial aid to take care of that. If you play at a certain level, you have a certain level of academic success in terms of the SATs and your GPAs coming into college, so that you can get into the school. But the kids didn't know how to properly present their brand, i.e. themselves. And you don't have to have and we know most 17, 18-year-olds are not going to be able to be outspoken and those kinds of things, but you still are a brand. So that means when you talk to someone, you have to be able to code switch. When you're talking to your friends and homies and all that stuff, you have one way you talk to people, and you're talking in an academic and a business environment, you should have another way, right? And the kids there was one kid in particular that's a lineman that has some skills. He was actually at our event last week. But he was talking, and then he said something about, well, I'm not going anywhere I can't do some internships at. Well, how are you going to put, it's like going to a job to your boss and saying, put some demands on them before you prove that you even should have the job. Right? So it was like, the recruiter took a step back. He didn't physically take a step back, but I could see his whole expression change in terms of he stepped back off that kid and started talking to the other kid. Okay, so he went from being number one to this kid was here, was number one in terms of who he was talking to. So that kid didn't understand that he is a brand and he has to present himself, even when he's talking to those recruiters, in a way that makes them, because college coaches' lives depend upon, financial lives depend on how many kids they can recruit to school, how successful they can be with those kids, and how many kids can stay out of trouble and be academically eligible. So their lives depend on these kids doing what they're supposed to do. So if I pick the wrong kid, or if I have a sense that the kid's not going to be successful in handling that environment, then I'm not going to pick that kid. So kids don't understand their brand. They know Facebook and Twitter, but nobody's explaining to them, look, you have to, properly market yourself, and it doesn't mean go out and be in a suit every day when you talk to the recruiters. It means talk to them as if you were interviewing for a job, and be up front in terms of understanding that part of the process. And people don't understand the reality of the recruiting process. They think because they got a letter in the mail, or they got a call from a guy, or a tweet or a text, that they're now going to be getting a scholarship to that school. Well, it's usually about 50 to 1. If you look inside here, we have the data that talks about there are 20,000 applicants at a school. Like Stanford, they had 20,000 applicants. They admitted 1,600. UCLA had 16,000 applicants last year. They admitted 6,000. 13,000 of the 20,000 that applied were qualified. Same thing with the scholarships. They have 50 to 1. So if I sent you a letter, I sent 50 other guys a letter. Unless you are the ESPN Rise Top 150. If you're not in that group, then you have to totally understand, how can I put myself in a position to get to that, have a great season and do what I need to do, and then get an opportunity to either get to that D1, the D1A, the D2, the D3, the NAIA. It doesn't matter in terms of school, because you need to find a school that fits you. So you have to understand that. And most coaches don't have the skills, the time, the energy, and sometimes the desire or the care to help their kids get recruited. Okay? So it falls a lot on the parents. The parents don't understand that, and people like you in the room that want to help your kids get recruited. Any questions? Big Dog? No, you just soaking it all in, huh? But there are a tremendous number of opportunities in terms of that stuff, right? There's a tremendous number of colleges. I got 4, 5, 6 emails yesterday, people looking for different positions, right? She was back east that couldn't send the people out here. The guys that were actually here were looking to get the transcripts of the people that they saw that they liked. There's always some opportunity out there. But what happens is the kids don't know, the coaches don't have the time, and unless you make sure you get exposed, you have to get the exposure out there. You have to make sure, if you're a young kid, you got to take care of your grades. If you haven't taken care of your grades, you just have to figure out where you're at now, right? Figure out where you're at now so that you can position yourself where you need to go. If you got a 1.8 GPA, see our kids transcript yesterday, one kid is a baller, flat out, got mad crazy skills. 1.8 GPA. So even some of the smaller schools are like, the recruiter's loving him, the position coach is loving him. I don't know if I want to take a chance on him. So that means he's going to have to, in all likelihood, end up going to a junior college for a year or two, which, it's like, you have to do what you have to do. You take care of that opportunity, get the grades taken care of. I have 4 kids now, 6 kids, 8 kids from last year's junior colleges, and one of them had a great year, was all league. The 5 others, if you can, any way, shape, form, or fashion, you want to get to that 4-year institution so that you can be part of the process. Because coaches play the people they feel comfortable with. So when you're a junior college guy coming in, they recruited you, they want you, but they really want that kid that's been there for since a freshman, because they know who they are, they're comfortable with them. Okay? So if you can get into that junior college, that four-year school, you're much better off. Initial eligibility. When we talk about, they've changed the things, so you have to have all those core classes. You have to have 16 core classes, 14 core classes. And D1 and D2 have to have core class requirements. English, math, science. Inside the packet in there, you get a packet. Everybody get a packet. And it's like the NAIA clearinghouse. Okay, there's now a requirement that not only is there the NCAA clearinghouse, the NAIA has its own clearinghouse now. So they want you to get that done. Included in the package is high school evaluation. Somebody can make sure that their kids are on track in terms of the credits that they need and all those kind of things. And also have some resources in terms of other scholarships. There is the core score and SAT or GPA. So the lower your GPA is, the higher your SAT score is for you to get eligibility. Okay, D1 and D2. So it's connected. Okay, and this will give you some specific concrete, because this is talking about initial eligibility. Okay, and applying to colleges is a hard process. You want to make sure you go online and do the common application. So now I have 3 kids at the school that have the grades, okay, the test scores, but they're all different personalities. They have different needs when they attempt to go to college. One kid can go to the small NAIA school, right? They're small enough where he'll get service. In terms of service, you have that support system. The best part of being an athlete at school is you get a support system. When I say support system, you got counselors, you got the coaches, you got academic advisors, all helping you make sure that you're going to get the education you need in terms of being eligible and moving towards academic graduation. When you're regular students, you got to pay extra money for that. Right? That stuff isn't cheap, but it's free. Okay? So that's a major asset in terms of that stuff. The college application process, though, you fill out that common application online. Now, when I got another school that's interested in the kid, I can go online, click a button, and that application is automatically submitted to that school. And if you've got a fee waiver, that means if you took the SAT or ACT and you were eligible, then you don't have to pay for that. And that means when you go to these colleges, they'll waive your fee as well. So you don't have to pay for 10 doggone fees to try to get into school. They'll just they'll just get waived. Okay, so you want to fill out that common application. You want to make sure they get the FAFSA done. And most people don't understand, FAFSA is just a financial aid thing you fill out for it. It's a national thing. You fill that out once, and you can use it for any school you're going to go to. Okay, and you need to have a good relationship with your parents or legal guardians or wherever, so they can at least get the forms filled out. Once they get that done, then you can move forward. And then you need to apply to more than one school. Okay, if you got 5 schools that are talking to you, then you need to go online, fill out an application. If they don't have that, most of them have a common application. If they don't, fill out their little applications. Usually, 20-minute deal. Fill it out, put the stuff in there, send it off, and then you got some options. So if a coach is talking to you and the kid says, "Well, I don't know if I want to go there," or "I'm not sure," you're unsure. You fill the application out. You're going to see, well, I wanted to go there, but I can't get in there academically. You wasted your time. You let another opportunity go by. So you want to make sure you get that stuff done as early as possible in December, January, so that you can get in that admissions process. Once you get in that process, you'll know, okay, I want to go here, but shoot, I can't get in there. My SAT, ACT don't fit. They want me over here, I can get in there. Okay, then that's where I need to go. And kids get excited all the time. I want to go to the University of so-and-so, and I'm hold up. University of so-and-so says, we kind of want you, and you can be a walk-on, and we'll help you get the financial aid. University of so-and-so says, I want you, and I want you to come over here now. Then you need to go whether you want it. You won't be number 10 on the depth chart. You might be number 7 over here when you start, but they're going to give you an opportunity. When somebody wants you, they give you an opportunity.